to talk about selling yourself, and not how you usually think of selling yourself. I mean, a lot of the reason people aren't getting things done, they're not finishing things, or they're not focusing, is because they haven't actually sold themselves on the thing that they're doing. They haven't actually committed fully because they don't know why they're doing it. And that actually is something that will keep most people from taking action. And by sold, I mean cutting off the alternative of other options, and they know the importance of what they're doing and why they're doing it. Really the ideal outcome. If you're procrastinating, or if you're not finishing things or tasks, you haven't actually sold yourself on what you're doing yet. So I just have 3 simple ideas on how to be more intentional, how to get bigger things done, and how to make sure you're more committed. Number 1, don't take on too much. Instead of doing 20 things in the day or even 10 things, just do 3 or 4 big things that you actually sell yourself on. What I do is I pick 3 to 4 things a day that I've actually sold myself on. I have reasons why I'm doing them, and I just take on those 2 or 3 things. You'd rather get 2 or 3 big things done that are important to you that you've sold yourself on than doing 15 or 20 little things that you don't know exactly why you're doing them, that they don't necessarily connect to a bigger purpose. It's number 1. Number 2 is have a series of questions that you ask yourself when taking a task on, a new task, to making sure that it has purpose and the outcome is worth your time. The more reasons you have to do something, and I mean the more logical and practical reasons, not just the emotional, but the more reasons you have, the more apt you are to follow through. They say an immature mind hops from task to task without finishing, but the mature mind stays on one task until it's completed. So this can go with relationships. If you haven't actually sold yourself on why the person you're with is the best person for you, then you might still have somebody that you think is better for you, or you might not give your all in that relationship because you haven't sold yourself. And this goes with business deal. If you don't feel like it's the deal for you, or you don't feel like you're sold on that deal, you're not going to go after it, or you're not going to give your all for that deal. Waking up early. If you don't feel like waking up early means anything to you and you haven't sold yourself on it, you're going to keep sleeping in. Working out's the same thing. And those who have quit smoking, it's hard to do. They've just sold themselves on why they should quit smoking. And the ones that can't quit, they just haven't sold themselves yet. So that's really all it is just selling yourself on why you should do something before you do it. It takes some serious thought and some discipline, but it's well worth it to make sure you're intentional in all that you do. Number 3, stop doing things you aren't completely sold on. Okay? Start having a greater focus on things that you've sold yourself on, and don't get so involved unless you know why you're doing it. And I'll tell you, the more reasons you have, the more you sell yourself on what you're doing for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year, the more excitement, emotional energy, and commitment you'll have towards that activity. Okay, and the single biggest skill you can learn in business is not to get yourself involved if you haven't actually sold yourself on the activity yet. Time-wise, effort-wise, emotionally, just don't get involved unless you're sold on it. Okay? Hope this helps, and we'll talk to you soon.